What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about VeChain today. V-E-T, VET. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Oh, I just got a cold weather warning. It's not that cold. It's only 23 degrees out. It's not bad. Fahrenheit for you Celsiites out there. If we're looking at this relative low here, relative low to the relative high, you have pulled down to your 786, and while this is rather, I should say, common, actually. It's not the common look that we've seen this cycle, right? Generally speaking, when you go to the 786 for support, you tear right through your golden ratio and find support at the 786 and then rip from there. Here, you're finding a double bottom at it. These 786 areas of support are notorious for an immediate rip up, but whenever you do it in this kind of context, I wouldn't expect that necessarily. Though it could happen. I mean, you could just tear through the roof here. You never know. But I'm assuming from here, with this little double bottom, tweezer bottom here that you're having at the 786 at prior areas of resistance and support going back in this thing's existence, I'm assuming that you will work your way up over the coming days back to about a price of about 36 to 37 cents. You're at 27, or I'm sorry, 3.6 to 3.7 cents. You're at 2.7 cents right now, so a little bit higher, right? That's nice. You'll probably recover that. I would assume how long it took you to move down, it'll take you less time to move up. That's what I'm assuming. Like by the end of the first week of March, you really could be up here, especially if Bitcoin recovers in the way that I'm expecting it to. If not, same target area, it just might take more time. Instead of the first week of March, maybe the second week of March. But I would suspect if this took from February 12th to February, I mean, that in itself took about 2 weeks to happen. I would think the recovery will be faster. Why do I think that? I don't know. I mean, you're moving up faster than you're moving down. Simple as that. That's how it is in a bull market. That's how it is in crypto. You take the stairs down and you take the elevator up. That's what they say. People are timid whenever it comes to selling. People are the opposite of timid when it comes to buying. You know what I mean? Just think of it like that, essentially. And then, of course, if we're extended on the oscillators here on the oversold zone, that really could set us up for a whip, right? A whip right back up to the upside. In fact, last time that we were down here, we moved up about half of the move that I'm calling for, but that only took like 4 days, 3 days, right? This could take, if we had double that time, it could be double the move. Who knows? In that kind of perspective. Here, you didn't even hit the oversold zone. Wild move up. Here, oversold zone, it took you the course of about a week, it looks like, from a low to a high. You moved up 33%. We're basically calling for something of that magnitude now, wouldn't we? Let's see. Yeah, like quite literally that same magnitude. So I'm just saying, and same thing over here. Generally speaking, whenever you do bottom out, as long as you're bottoming out, right? Here you were in the oversold zone and you kept going lower. As long as you're bottoming out, and I think that you are, because it seems like a double bottom here. You've got some kind of even triple bottom look. Whatever, you're finding support at prior areas of resistance and prior areas of support in your thing's history. It would make sense that you move up from here, at least to me. Beyond all of that, right, if we look at the RSI, you do have, if it'll let me, you do have, I was going to say bullish divergence. I guess you don't. Would it be bullish divergence if today closes green? It would not. Still, a double bottom in the RSI is good, though. No bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Probably have some here. You probably do, if the computer will load. There we go. So you've got higher lows here, higher lows in your RSI while having lower lows in your price. That's bullish divergence, right? Generally speaking, that's good for a move up to where the divergence started. So technically, you've already made that move. You can go down from here, right? It's not guaranteed that you're going up, but generally speaking, whenever you get this bullish divergence look and you bounce right off the oversold zone, generally, in my experience, whatever good that is, you do see some rather miraculous moves, relatively speaking. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if not only we moved up to those 30-cent target areas, 38-cent target areas, but if we moved all the way up to 56 cents or more, you could really see a miraculous move here. If anything, I would expect not that we stop below these levels, but that we could instead go ahead of these levels, and maybe we do see a 42-cent price or higher. If we look at this on a Fib perspective from an overall high to low, that's not a high to low. High to low, the estimated target areas would be something around about 40 cents, and oftentimes with the 382 you do go through it a little bit and then pull back to your 236, right? Something like that. I should say through it, like you wick through it and then you close and then you go to your 236. It's very common to see this kind of 382 resistance, 236 support maneuver on your way up to the golden ratio. So if that happens, be prepared. It's also common at times whenever you're at such low levels to just get a really big whip up to the upside. I don't know what to call it, just like a bullish, like a snap back to the upside, and maybe you do go all the way up to your golden ratio at about 5.1 to 5.6 cents. Maybe that's exactly where you go. I don't know. If I've been saying 56 cents or 30 cents, I'm sorry. I'm just forgetting the zero there, but you know what I'm saying, VeChain community. Inevitably, whenever it does come time to recover this whole entire drop, and you will recover this whole entire drop, you're likely going to go all the way back up to the 1272, 1618, and beyond, further than that, right? These targets are at 11 cents, 16.5 cents. You're at 2.7 cents now, so those are the targets you have to look forward to when this next phase is done, all said and done with. The minimum target is 11 cents. My expectation would be that you see a move that's bigger than this last move, okay? This move here, I actually drew that. That's a little bit too big. This move here from a low, if I can get it, to the high right here, low to high, that's the move right there, right? If we made this same move from this low right now, that would take you right to your 1272. I expect this move to be bigger than the last move, so I don't think you stop at the 1272. What we have now is a estimated preference at about 13 to 16.6 cents, and you don't have to stop there. You could go beyond. Who's to say this move can't be twice as big? It really could. Who knows? You might go all the way up to 35 cents, and see something that's over a 10x by the end of April. You never know. Crypto, guys, whenever it's its most bearish, that's whenever it will shock the world and go on a phenomenal run, miraculous run here. Let's look at the weekly RSI or weekly time frames and then see if these things line up. High, nope, that was not the high. High to low. High to low on the Fibonacci. We're at the 236. We didn't hit the 618. That's probably why we're at the 236. This is actually normal, okay? It's a weaker look overall. You'd like to hit the golden ratio. Falling just shy of it does open the door to go to the 236. But hey, we're finding support at it now. Higher lows, right? Everything's looking good. The next target area from here actually would be the golden ratio. And likely because you've already kind of interacted with it, you have a solid chance of even going to the 786. On a weekly basis, not a daily basis, this could take several weeks, even a couple months, or more time than that, right? It could take months that we're talking about, right? Weekly time frame means months because it only takes 4 of those candles on a weekly time frame to equal a month. So we're thinking in terms of like 3 weeks or more, probably, right? 8.7 cents and beyond are the likely targets that we would see by the end of this move. And does that make sense from here? Because we took the high to low, and we were saying that based off of the extensions, we would see a bigger move than what we saw last time. Well, that makes sense because 11 cents was the target that we assumed we would breach. So if we're going to breach 11 cents, which is all the way up here, likely this next stopping point is not going to be until we're at about 14.65 cents or 20 cents itself, somewhere in the land of the 786 to the 886. And that makes a lot of sense to me. We're finding support here at the relative 786 from a low to a high here. You're literally, that was not what I meant to do right there. You're literally tipping this 786. Perhaps that's exactly what you do whenever you go to find resistance. You find resistance at 14.65. You could go all the way up to 20 cents too, though. Something in that zone, though. That's what I think is in store for VeChain over the coming probably like 6 weeks. I would say 6 to 8 weeks. By the end of March, if not by the end of April, right? I'm aware the end of March is less than 6 weeks away from now, but you know, probably by the end of March, if we're not here, we'd be very close, right? So then 2 weeks later, we'd be up in that area. That's just kind of my assumption. You never know, though, man. This thing, again, it's crypto, and if it has to remind you that it's crypto, it can just go straight through the roof. It can do things that are outside of any of our expectations. I fully expect that VeChain, VET, will see new all-time highs by the end of the cycle. You're at 2.7 cents now. Your minimum target, your minimum endeavor, would take you up to something of about a 23x, 24x. And that's about the average expectation for the average crypto right now. So that would be an average move, nothing to be ashamed of there. But VeChain, you're going to outperform the markets. We all know you're going to. So $1, that's a nice psychological level. You could stop there. You could stop at $1. That could be where you stop. It's completely possible. And that's at about a 35x from here. Now, if that doesn't sound juicy enough to you, it's very common to hit the 1 for 1 for and actually go a little bit through it. So you could go through $1. Sometimes with these psychological levels at $1, you would either find resistance just below or go through it. You kind of excel through it, and that creates a kind of wick moment where people think, oh, it broke through $1, it's going up to $2, $3, whatever. They start getting those ideas, and then that's when we close back below. It's very possible you could find resistance here in that $1 area. Okay, $1.87 is the next target, golden ratio. I like that at a 66, almost a 67x. That's great. Most cryptos, high to low, cycle over cycle, they will stop at their 1618, 1886, or 2272 areas, right? Generally speaking, if we're talking about prior cycle highs to cycle lows, this is the box that they stop in. Generally, good performers do, okay? Generally. Unless they've had a wicked bear market and it takes them like 1,000x just to get back to new all-time highs, right? But if you're looking for a crypto that's having new all-time highs, they generally don't stop at their 1272s. They generally would at least hit their 1414 and wick above it a little bit, but oftentimes it's that 1618 to 2272 range. Now VeChain to get to its 2272, that'd be a 507x. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I don't think that's possible, right? I personally don't think that's possible. 507x would imply, because right, 100x would be $200 billion. So 507x would imply that you're at a over $1 trillion market cap, and I don't think that's going to happen for VeChain. I like VeChain, but I don't think you see $1 trillion market cap this cycle. You could shock the world, and if you do, man, it's a 500x from here. But likely you stop at this. I think this 68x area. 100x again would be about $220 billion. 100x would. So a 60x would be less than 200 billion, but over 100 billion. That really sounds like a good area to top off. I'm very convinced you probably do stop here at around $1.87 or just around that area, something like that. You could go higher. I do accept the idea that you could go to about $4.26 to $6.05, but that's probably the limit. That's about the limit that I'd give. I don't think you go to 14 bucks. So yes, VeChain, I accept it's possible you could go to $6, $4.26, somewhere in that area. No VeChain, I'm not saying that's where you will go. I'm saying that's where you could go. Where I believe you're going to go, if I really had to guess, I'm thinking around $2, just below $2, $1.87. That's my expectation. So if you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I think VeChain's on its way up, not just weekly, not just daily, but monthly. Overall, the rest of the cycle, it's going to be phenomenal. This is a good looking area to bottom out at, but it is completely possible if crypto keeps going down, if Bitcoin keeps going down, that you might go down as well. However, Bitcoin moving down did not really impact coins like this so much, right? Like Bitcoin's down. At one point, it was down like 15% this week. I guess you're down 14% still. So maybe it impacted VeChain a little bit more. The ones that are in the top 50, I feel like got hit the hardest. That makes sense. I've got nothing else to say, guys. I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.